Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's government class. My name is Martina Umungwa, and the topic of our discussion for today is military rule in Nigeria. Objectives. By the end of this class, students should be able to define military rule, state the features of military rule, identify the reasons for military intervention in Nigeria, list the structure of military rule in Nigeria, mention some of the achievements of military rule in Nigeria, examine the failures of the military rule in Nigeria. Definition. Military rule is simply defined as a governance by men who specialize in armed force and maintaining order rather than in political affairs. They are more accustomed to hierarchy and obedience than bargaining. Nigeria's first military junta began following the 1966 Nigerian coup d'etat, which overthrew the Prime Minister, Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. Major General Aguiyi-Ironsi was made the head of the federal military government of Nigeria, but was soon overthrown and murdered in a coup in July of the same year. Features of military rule. The following are some of the features of military rule. First, the suspension and modification of some sections of Constitution to be in line with the military rule. It is a dictatorship form of government. It is also a highly centralized system of government. This is a form of government that rules with decrees. There is absence of all forms of opposition. There is also fusion of the legislative and the executive arms of government. The use of coercion in the implementation of policies. There is also absence of elections. Reasons for military intervention in Nigeria. The following are some of the reasons that necessitated the intervention of the military regime in the Nigerian government. Tribalism, regional-based political parties, dispute over 1962 and 1963 census results, mismanagement of public funds, low level of honest and reliable leadership, general election crisis of 1964, Western Nigerian election crisis of 1965, the Acting Group crisis of 1962. The structure of military rule in Nigeria. The military government of Nigeria is mainly divided into two levels, of the federal military government and the state military government, with the following organs and structures. The head of state and the president, the Supreme Military Council or the Armed Force Ruling Council, the National Council States, the Council of Ministers, the State Military Administrator or Governor, the State Executive Council. Achievements of military rule in Nigeria. The following are some of the achievements of military regime in Nigeria. The creation of state and local governments. Promotion of national integration, for example, the establishment of NYSC. Infrastructural development, for example, the construction of roads, airports, railways, etc. The establishment of local government reforms. The introduction of new currency. They also contributed highly in keeping the unity of the country. They encourage regional cooperation, for example, the formation of ECOWAS. Failures of the military rule in Nigeria. In spite of the achievement of the military rule in Nigeria mentioned above, the same regime was subjected to the following failures. First, this regime was based on dictatorship. There was no room for the criticism of the government on power. Also, this regime was highly responsible for the Nigerian civil war, which claimed many lives. The regime was also very corrupt. Fundamental human rights were highly violated. There was also a high increase in crime rate. Laws were made on decrease. Hence, there was no constitution. The regime was also undemocratic. Summary. Military regime simply means a governance by men who specialize in armed force and maintaining order rather than in political affairs. Features. Suspension of constitution. There is no opposition. The form of government is dictatorship. One of the reasons for military intervention in Nigeria is tribalism. The military government of Nigeria is mainly divided into two: the federal military government and the state military government. One of the achievements of the military regime was the creation of state and the local government. The regime failed as a result of lack of constitution. Hence, they employed the use of decrees. Assignment. How many coups are in Nigeria? Thank you.